Hello YouTube, today we've been watching Female Gooners Must Be Stopped by Shoe0nHead. I'm gonna get that, all that, and yeah, let's go.
Oh, I didn't see you there. What am I reading, you ask? Well, just one of the best-selling books on Amazon right now. With millions of sales and almost 20,000 5-star reviews, this book has been absolutely blowing up, especially on TikTok, or Book Talk, as the kids call it. Thousands and thousands of women, in particular, have been raving about this piece of literature. What piece of literature is it, you may ask? Well, Morning Glory Milking Farm, of course.
That is wild. That is actually wild. Morning Glory Milking Farm. The cover is already interesting. We got you guys' hair, and we got the cow head, and I don't know. This is just what's gonna happen in this book?
A popular romance novel about a young woman down on her luck who does what every young woman does when facing financial struggle. She starts an OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding. She wouldn't degrade herself like that. She gets a job jerking off monsters.
Okay. Well, that's it's an interesting premise for a book. Read a book about jerking off monsters. That is wild. Golly, people can be so weird.
That's right, the Morning Glory Milking Farm.
I have been reading Morning Glory Milking Farm since last night, and I'm obsessed.
This was a good time. It did not disappoint.
If this book is trash, then I am a fucking raccoon. Give me all of the garbage.
Get your eyeballs on this, because it is so good.
Okay, well, I don't know. The book can be good, the book could be bad. There can be either ors. I don't know. We can see if the book's good or bad. We'll see.
I regret to inform you that there is a new epidemic. An epidemic that many have yet to discuss. And that epidemic is female gooners.
I'm reading what I read.
Dragon spot. Very smart.
Now,
Bat wings. Bat wings is wild. Batman. But now, oh no, we don't got a superhero. We just got a man with bat wings. Like, oh my god. Like, what the hell?
for those of you unaware, gooner is internet slang for someone addicted to porn. And smut is slang for dark romance novels, otherwise known as porn. Many correct about the dangers of porn addiction with men, how it can destroy their lives and their relationships, and most men know the material they consume is weird, that is why they are.
Yeah, that's why they don't publicly air it out. They can watch whatever they want, but they don't publicly air it out. They can watch whatever they want. They watch whenever they want. But no one has to know. No one has to know that you're reading Dragon Smut or Guy with Bat Wings. I don't care. Oh my god.
Are ashamed of it. That is why they delete their browser history. That is why they go incognito mode. But these bitches freaks out here. They display their smut openly in bookstores. They proudly pose in front of their smut collections. They discuss their smut openly on TikTok. They go to smut conventions.
Wow. You know, there are conventions for these things, but I don't know. I'm just confused on why anyone would actually spend their time or money going to a convention about scary animals, about monsters that have 12-inch dicks.
And get choked out by 9-foot-tall shirtless wendigos. Now, I know what you are thinking. Shoo, isn't this the pot calling the kettle degenerate? Yes. Yes, it is. But have you considered, it takes one to truly know one? You see, women are strange, fascinating creatures. For centuries, men have tried to figure us out. Our mood is affected by the tides and the moon. We bleed for 5 days and don't die. By painting my face, I can instantly shapeshift from a 4 to a 6. We are truly mysterious, magical creatures. But one of the most mysterious aspects of women to men is our sexuality. You see, us women are not like those disgusting moids. No, we are sophisticated. We are evolved.
Sophisticated. It's just just a form of medium. It's a medium form. Women like reading. Can read about a guy with bat wings. Well, most men prefer to look at a big booty Latina. Same medium, or it's different mediums, but it's really not this. It's really not anything much different. It's just what you like. Women all can look. Women can read porn books. Men prefer to watch porn. Men prefer to watch porn. And so be it. So be it indeed.
We don't watch videos of strangers slapping their sweaty bodies together. No, we read about strangers slapping their sweaty bodies together. It's different, okay? You don't understand. It's okay when we do it. So...
It sounds like the same thing. Just, you're not watching it. You're reading about it. It sounds like almost the exact same thing. But you're not watching it, you're reading it.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the rapidly growing popularity of dark romance on TikTok and the recent dark romance convention that ended in disaster. Let's take a break from all this depressing political news and talk about something silly. Not that those political things aren't important, trust me, they are. You should be keeping up with politics and the news when you can. I know it can be.
This is a sponsor. Yep, I thought so. It was a sponsor, so we're going to go all the way, and we're going to go back to here. Alright.
Destroyed the hobby of literature and just flooded it with absolute slop. Spicy slop. You see, books on TikTok are not rated by how well they are written or how good the characters are. No, they are rated by the
spice.
Spice. And what does spice?
The spiciness of that book. So it doesn't matter how good a book is written. If it has sweaty men slapping their body together with other women, then it's a good book. You see, like, with a book, writing is literally the entire book. You can visualize a book, but that's what you're visualizing, what you are reading. With porn, the writing doesn't have to be good at all, because you're not there to dissect that type of video. You're there to watch it happen and do whatever you want to do. That's it. The writing doesn't have to be good. A book, on the other hand, the writing has to be good. The writing has to be good to visualize it. But some people don't care. Some people just don't care about writing and want guy with bat wings.
Porn. It means porn. Spice level is very important to book talkers. How much spice does a book have? What are the spiciest books they have ever read? How spicy is the book they're currently reading? Spice, spice, spice. The spiciest book going viral on BookTok lately is none other than Morning Glory Milking Farm by C.M. Nascosta. Violet is a typical down-on-her-luck millennial, mid-20s, overeducated, and drowning in debt.
You know, reading this description, I don't know. Actually, no, I do know. Because this is, like, I feel like this is a self-insert. Like, to be completely honest, this feels like a self-insert, but then added the sprinkle of fantasy about jerking off minotaurs. Just with cowhead, jerking off monsters. This feels like a self-insert. Like most of these books are. People self-insert themselves. It's basically reading fan fiction. Without the fandom, just reading a monster fiction book with themselves in it. Oh my.
Oh my god! She's just like me, on the verge of moving into her parents' basement, when a lifeline appears in the form of—
It's probably how. Actually, no, that's probably how these books sell them. They make it seem realistic enough that people are drawn into the book, but they add the aspect of the monsters and this and this to give it a fantasy level, so yeah, it grabs both audiences.
a very unconventional job in the neighboring Cambric Creek. She has no choice but to grab it with both hands. Morning Glory Farm offers full-time hours, full benefits, and generous pay with no experience needed. There's only one catch. The clientele is
Grade A certified prime beef with the manlier, meaty endowments to match. Yeah, I don't think this writing is gonna be good at all. I don't think so. There's no reason to add this. Like, it's a hook. You're hooking the person in immediately. There's no plot. There's no
grade
plot.
A
I don't know how the plot would fit with
certified prime beef. Oh god, with the manly meaty endowments to— okay.
Morning Glory Milking Farm is actually a profound critique of late-stage capitalism and toxic masculinity. In this text, we see that the tingling sensation in her coochie is actually the tingling sensation of a Marxist revolution.
Alright. This is a rage bait video. A rage bait post. Because there is no way that this is a story about capitalism. And Gucci tingling is about Marxist Leninism. This is a rage bait post. This is not real. There is no way someone can think this. A book about jerking off a minotaur is about Marxist Leninism. That is so stupid. Marxist Leninism is connected to Gucci.
This is every fucking
This is so stupid.
Red Do video to me, dude.
Yeah.
This is every Jack Saint video. So I actually read the book myself, and I'm not gonna lie, the 19th Amendment needs to be abolished. So, like I said, the story is basically this millennial named Violet, and she gets a job basically working at Big Pharma in Narnia, where they harvest minotaur milk to make Viagra for human—
How does that work? You use minotaur cum. You use minotaur semen to make Viagra. Does the sperm with the other sperm, does the sperm with the human sperm make Superman sperm, like super sperm? Does it give it like a boost? Does it make super sperm? Like, how does that? The logic is not there. I'm already saying this plot is gonna be this plot is gonna be so bad. This plot is not gonna be good. Because that does not make any sense. That seems like it was a lazy attempt into explaining why the Minotaur was why there's Minotaurs why you have to milk a Minotaur. Because, newsflash, if this writer knew what sperm actually was, that doesn't work. You can't make Viagra out of little just sperm. You can't do that. That's not how this works, man.
males. And I read the whole thing. Probably gonna be put on some kind of watch list. But listen, this is my job, okay? I'm not out here like selling feet pics or something. What I do is far more dignified and
I think feet pics would have been better than this. I personally think selling feet pics would be a better option than reading or writing smut. This level of smut. Like, I don't care if someone wants to read a book about spicy books. I don't care. But at least make the writing good. Again, it's a book. The Hunger Games, for example, is not a smut book. It's the furthest thing from this. But you know what? It was very good. It was written very good. I read it. I read all three. They were all really good in how they explored and how they did how Katniss, Peter, and all that happened. What I'm trying to say is, for a book, there was no visuals to carry it. There was no There was no voices to carry it. There was nothing but the writing to carry the book. So the writing has to be good, or no one is reading that book. Simple as that.
Normal. Now, let's take a look at some of these notes I wrote. Let's see. Big dick and balls. At one point, she says the term, and I quote, the seam of his sack.
The seam of... Oh my god. Oh my god. The seam of his sack. The seam of his sack. You see what I mean? This is a Gooner book. This is a Gooner book. This is a smut book. Because there is no way an actual book would need to use language like the seam of his sack to express how spicy it is. How spicy this book is. Oh my god.
So I'm reading this, and the whole time I'm thinking, like, okay, he probably has, like, a human head, right? He probably, like, looks something like this, like, you know, just a dude with, like, horns. Then I see the official artwork.
That's literally a cow. I don't think, we can go look it up right now. We can go look it up right now. Not that one, a centaur. Because, yeah, this isn't even a set. Because this is a horse body. I don't know. But it's definitely not. We can go look at a minotaur, actually. We can go look at this. A minotaur. See, now this. See, a fucking mythological monster. And you have to jerk one off. As a human head. Cow legs. But a human body. Like. Why? Why?
That's a cow. Bro is a cow. Bro.
Yeah, that's a minotaur, as we just looked. A cow head with a human body and human legs.
Is a straight up cow.
Not human legs, cow legs.
In a few parts, they're being intimate, and it will be like, his hooves clip-clopped.
What? His hooves clip-clopped. Like, this is wild. Women actually think this is good writing. No, it's not. Fantasizing about being fucked by a cow. Fantasizing about having a cow dick. Being real by cow dick. No one cares. Like, again, read whatever you want to read. I'm not opposed to that. Read whatever the fuck you want to read. But don't air it out. Don't tell people you're reading a book where the main character is jacking off almost a minotaur.
My hooves will tear up your sheets. And it's like, I'm sorry, his what? At one point, she describes kissing him. And I swear to God, it was more disgusting than anything else described in this book. She's like describing how big and wide his mouth is and how big and like slimy his tongue is.
Yeah, this is a little cow head. But that is nasty. Like, too much detail in the stuff that doesn't matter. We don't have to describe how his tongue was so cow-like and how his hooves click-clapped and his hooves would tear up the sheets.
It's like describing the shit and you're just like, that's a cow. I mean, we are at a solid 5.5.
Yeah. It's a non-humanoid creature.
On the Barbeau scale here. This is dangerous territory, folks. She also f***ers his ass.
Oh. Wow. So, not only is we're going to see clip-clopped, she stuck a finger in his ass. Trying to reach the prostate? Like, what the I don't know what is going on.
She f***ers the cow's ass. But
You finger the cow's ass. I don't know what's going on, actually. This is too wild. This is a wild book. If to read this book, you have to not be thinking about anything, anything good about the book. You have to be only thinking about how wet you are. That's literally it. You can't be thinking about how good the book is. It's the only thing you can be thinking about is how wet you are to read. If you want to read this book, you can't be thinking about anything else. Because once you start thinking about how bad this book is, then it really shows how bad this book.
By the way, if you want an uncensored version of this video and all my videos, Patreon. Go to Patreon, become a member. All members get the uncensored version of every video, so you can hear me talking about f***ing and f***ing a cow's asshole. Is that what you freaks want? Anyway, I like how in this fantasy world, student loans still exist. Like, we can imagine a world with minotaurs and humans in a relationship, but we can't imagine a world without student loans.
Again, this is a self-insert. I'm gonna say it right now. This is absolutely a self-insert. With a bit of Minotaur fantasy in it. With a bit of Minotaurs in it. A mythical creature with a bit of mythosm, I think that's the word. Point is, just put that in there because it would attract all the Gooners, the female Gooners out in the world. Because yeah, whoever wrote this book made a lot of money. Made a lot of money. Which, a bag is a bag at the end of the day, but still. This entire book is, I don't think this book is going to be written well. I don't think this book was written well at all. I don't think so.
Sad. Oh, and he has one of those bull rings, like the nose ring theory septum rings. And in this world, that means, like, you're married, but apparently he's divorced.
What? So you're telling me that, so, basically, he had a wife, then they divorced. And so, one, why did they divorce? Two, there are female minotaurs, which does not make any sense. And three, why? Why was this like, is it trying to be like a sad husband trope where, oh yeah, the wife gotta save the husband, oh he's sad and go blah blah why? Like, this is stupid.
The man is divorced. This is a divorced cow with a cow ex-wife. The lore is deep, folks. The funniest part, though, has to be when they go on a date. I need to just read this to you. When the bill arrived,
I'll read it. When the bill arrived, she attempted to pull a handful of carefully folded bills from her wristlet before he stopped her. No, that's absolutely not happening. Put that away. She had absolutely thought about it until the day after their first dinner together, realizing in the mortification that she ought to have attempted to pay her half. What kind of feminist are you? You see? I'm positive this book is not going to be good. Because there is no way you have to say, what kind of feminist are you in a book about milking minotaurs? There is no way. She couldn't remember the last time she'd been out and hadn't paid for half except for including her coffee date with Carson Tinsley, which accounted for how infrequently she went anywhere. She had come prepared that night, several weeks of her tips smooth and tucked in her wristlet. Used the word twice. We knew that there was bills in her wristlet, and we knew there was bills. They just said the same thing twice. But I didn't offer to pay the other halves like I shouldn't have. Violet, if the commanding rumble of his voice hadn't silenced her, the heat of his hand dropping to her knee would have. I don't want you to feel like you don't have any agency here. I might be the one giving the orders, but you hold all the cards. Your comfort is my overstep. I want you to know you can tell me so, but that's not happening. I don't think I'm aware we're at different points in our careers. If you can say no, you can say you don't want to see me again. You can tell me to stop coming to the farm when you're working. It's dinner, not down payment of your time. But I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone, so when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story. She was a good feminist. Are you fucking kidding? kidding me. She told us though. And she definitely couldn't have been bought. But if he had suggested in that moment, he would have been appreciated the blowjob. She would have fallen face first on his cock with an open mouth without a shred of hesitation. What the fuck, man? In an excerpt, this is a literal self-insert. This is what the writer thinks this should happen. This is the writer thinks should happen to women. That, oh, agency, you have all the cards here. Oh, the man just has to pay up. Man, this is a self-insert. And I'm a good feminist. And then you just give him a blowjob if she wants it. Oh my god, this is terrible.
She attempted to pull a handful of carefully folded bills from her wristlet before he stopped her. No, that's absolutely not happening. Put that away. She'd not thought about it until the day after their first dinner together, realizing that in mortification that she ought to have attempted to pay her half. What kind of feminist are you? She asked herself. She couldn't remember the last offer to pay half the but you hold all the cards. Your comfort is the only. It's dinner, not a down payment of your time. With an open mouth, without a shred or two bowls. The strong, independent girl boss and the
strong, independent girl boss. And the hot minotaur. And she's so strong and independent. Oh yeah, she's this and this. But she, without a hesitation, would have dropped on his cock. That is insane. This book is, without excerpt alone, it shows how bad this book probably is. It's bad. This book is not gonna be good at all. The only reason why I'm thinking people reading this book is literally because they want to be wet, but they don't want to watch porn.
Submissive, doting housewife. And in the presence of a masculine man, or a farm animal, she will fold like a lawn chair and instantly return to factory settings.
It's dinner, not a down payment for your time. But I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone, so when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story. I said, okay, I highlighted that paragraph for myself.
You see what I mean? You see what is going on? This is written as one, a self-insert, and two, to all the other women who think like this, to get them to read it. To get them to read it. It's a hook. They're hooking on a... Because, yeah. I bet the writer thinks the exact same way. It's hooking all these women who read this. Because they want to read a story like this. That feels like themselves, and it feels like... and it feels like they can... And this is... Yeah. It's a self-insert. It's a literal self-insert. So, yeah. As I thought. Aside of feminism. Why? That means there's now half your audience. There's no male audience to this book. No. But some women aren't going to read this either because they don't care. They don't care. There are plenty of women who don't think just because a story has a jerking off minotaurs, it's going to be good.
Clean up aisle 5. So that's what I thought of it. But what did other people think of it? What are the reviews on this book? This book has a 4.1 on Amazon with 21,000 ratings and a 3.6 on Goodreads with nearly 60,000 ratings. Let's just read some random ones here. Hear me out. Hear me out. A milking good time. Sweet and creamy.
Sweet and creamy. Oh my god.
The spice is spicing. I was very leery of starting this because I thought it was just gonna be porn. The plot is pretty good. The plot? Please.
What plot is there? You're jerking off minotaurs you're going on a date with that.
This is like the new, I read Playboy for the articles, like.
Yeah. Ooh, no one does that, and no one's gonna do that for this book. They only read it. The people who read this book for their own values to be reasserted and for them to be wet.
Sure you do. This book could kill a Victorian child.
Yeah, it could. A Victorian child would have a heart attack reading a book about jerking off a minotaur.
5 stars, I'll never look at a jug of milk the same. I think I'm lactose intolerant now. So that happened. Our eyes will never see the gates of heaven. 1 star, not a helpful guide. This book failed to teach me how to milk a cow, and now my family has no food for the winter.
You know what? That's a good review. Because you know what? This book didn't teach you at all how to milk a cow. It told you how to jerk one off. But I don't think you don't need to know how to jerk off a cow. Because those are 2 different things. A bull, actually. Because it's actually a bull. But anyways. Wow.
Not a helpful guide. This book failed to teach me how to milk a cow, and now my family has no food for the winter. 1 star, accidentally ordered while on pain medication after an operation.
Yeah. This book seems like a book you would only order while you're zooted. While you're not thinking correctly. Because no one who actually has a shred of thinking would buy this book.
Gave this to my mom as a joke gift for Christmas. You what?
What?
Sigh. Why can't human males be more like this?
You see, like, why? You really think it's a good idea? You really want this Lasai person? Lasai. Lasai. Oh yeah, you think it's a good idea that it should be, instead of human males, there should be minotaurs? You see, this is just delusions at this point. These are little delusions. These are delusions. Because these are literal delusions. Because there's no one in their right mind would actually think a book about a minotaur should be a good thing for actual human society.
Tall, rich, and handsome are no longer enough, boys. Now you have to be a 9-foot-tall creature from Greek mythology with a 13-inch dick. I never want to hear from another person about how they read 100 books in a year if this is the kind of slop.
Yeah, no, not at all. No. They shouldn't. No. If they're reading books like this, those aren't good books to read.
They are consuming. Well, Ronald, man detected, this isn't for you. This is for women. So take your ass back to Barely Legal Babysitter 5 or whatever the f*** you watch that is so morally superior than this. Let him who is without sin cast the first stone, okay? God bless America. It's great to live in a country where I can casually enjoy cozy erotica about a young woman who milks her way to financial security and true love with a minotaur. This is what freedom looks like, and I intend to fully enjoy it before the Supreme Court takes this right away next.
You know what? I would be fine. I don't think this book should be illegal. I don't think that these types of books should be banned. Because they're fine books. They might be written terribly, and they might not be, and they're not good books. But it's freedom of expression. If someone wants to express themselves by reading a book where you jerk off a minotaur, so be it. I'm not reading it. The next person probably not reading it, but so be it.
If this is what freedom looks like, I'm really rethinking my stance on freedom, not gonna lie. Maybe we should have less of it. All I know is if Donald Trump takes the monster porn, we are going to make 2020 look like a picnic, okay? Bullcock matters.
Bullcock matters. That is...
Oh my god, edit that out. Editor, edit that out. Women are gonna be picking up Animal Farm now, like, where's the horse cock? Some of you people owe a certain streamer an apology because this book has way too many 5 stars. Some of you are lying. So after buying this book, Amazon has given me a few interesting recommendations. Would you like to see them? I accidentally summoned a demon
Self-insert.
boyfriend. That time I
Self-insert.
got drunk and saved a demon. Gentling
Self...
the beast. Cupcakes for my orc and
Is that supposed to be a guy? No, to be completely honest. That looks like a... What the hell? Oh my god.
enemy. Main of my existence. The gargoyle and the spinster.
These are self-inserts. Because of the fact that I don't know why anyone who doesn't look like this would read a book. It's the same thing with video games, the same thing with books. They want hot characters to think about, and they don't. So, yeah. No. This is a self-insert.
The Widow and the Orc.
What is this, man? Fantasy?
Hoarded by the dragon.
That's a literal dragon. I'm about to get pregnant by a literal dragon.
There's something about dragons.
How I Met My Monster. Are you kidding me? These are little self-inserts. Are you kidding me?
Getting it on with gargoyles. Gotten by the gator. Mated to the mountain bear.
Made it to the mountain bear. But you know, I'm positive some of these books were actual self-inserts because yeah, the way they used I, they used the pronoun I. That means I did this, I did that. It was hooking on that you did something.
Oh, so this is why they
Yeah, you're gonna fuck a bear. Oh my god.
chose the bear. The billionaire orc.
The billionaire orc. What the hell does the orc? Mothram City Monsters. Are you kidding?
Mothman.
Moth Manager. It is literally a moth. It is literally a moth. Y'all want to fucking Cryptid Billionaires 2. These are self-inserts.
Miniature. Wolves and whipped cream.
Oh, no. This is a self-insert. This screams deviant. The body type. The two hot wolves. Wolves and whipped cream. Ash Raven. This Ash Raven person inserted themselves in a book. It's probably full of actual sex.
The wolf in my tavern.
The wolf in my tavern. Like, are you kidding me?
Pounded by.
That is literally a dick. Pounded by produce? Did you just stick a cucumber up your ass? What the hell? A veggie love tale?
So what? Are these the books
It's not the Veggie Tales I remember.
the Nazis burned?
My husband only reads finance and sci-fi books, and so I think it's about time that I introduce him to some real literature. So the first book that I would like to introduce you to is called Morning Glory Milking Farm. And it's not a normal milking farm like with cows. What it is it's big, bulky minotaurs, and it's a special type of milking.
See, honey,
We don't even know if she's actually talking to anyone. She could be talking to no one. Like, she could be literally talking to no one.
she's his stepsister and she got stuck in the washer machine again. Women on TikTok are openly, proudly talking about the porn they consume and getting mad at people when they make fun of it. I hereby ban men from reacting to romantasy on TikTok. Best-selling romantasy books like A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Fourth Wing contain descriptions of hot sex. I feel like that's common knowledge, if not their primary purposes. But in recent months, book talk has become full of men clutching their pearls while reacting to steamy scenes from these popular female-centered books.
Where's the proof? Where's the proof that is any men clutching their pearls over a book about minotaurs? About fucking a minotaur? Are you kidding me? I'm gonna finish this. Obviously, this is all a massive performance. We live in the age of OnlyFans, and the odds that all these men have odds are that all these men have seen actual porn that defies the laws of physics and God. So I don't buy it.
Obviously, this is all a massive performance. We live in the age of OnlyFans. The odds are that these men have seen actual porn that defies the laws of physics and God. Over
90% of men watch porn. 16 to 73 watch porn in a random month. It's different than talk about sex itself. What are they gawking at sex and female desires? Sex when women come first and frequently surprised by the women love scenes and holy canoid declares. I now know why women enjoy book clubs and wine. Start like large thing of not having sex and drinking wine. Grow up. You know. One, this is a blanket statement. And two, there is a difference from people hating on the people who read these books and people genuinely criticizing the book for thinking the book is bad. Because, newsflash, a book can be bad, but you don't have to be hate. If you like a book, good for you. I don't care. Good for you. If you like the Minotaur book, good for you. But I'm going to give my honest opinion on why I don't think this book is that good. I don't think this book is really good at all. Like, and besides, you're saying that all women like these books. No, they don't. There are absolutely a lot of women who don't like these books. Either because they don't like them written, or they don't care about watching smut. Or they don't care about reading smut. That's it.
Percent of men between the ages 16 and 73 watch porn in any random month. There's statistically no way all of these guys are shocked by the sex itself. What they are gawking at is sex from the perspective of female desire, scenes that depict women coming first and frequently. And what they are surprised by is the women they know love these scenes. In one video, a guy declares, "Now I know why women enjoy book clubs and wine." But his astonishment in itself is astonishing. Like, what do you think adult women were into? Not having sex and drinking wine? Grow up.
Again, another blank statement. Another blanket statement. Now, this article, this person who wrote this article, is assuming that every single woman, that all adult women all they like is sex and wine and drinking wine. Holy statement. Like, and these women think that they're being championed, getting rid of misogyny. Are they being more they're being more sexism. Yeah. Are they being more sexist themselves?
Imagine a group of men sitting around drinking wine, discussing the porn they watch. That is what you guys are essentially doing. It's just funny, okay? Like, it's funny. Are we really going to pretend that a story about a young woman getting a job milking mythical creatures to pay off her student debt is not funny? It's funny. If that makes me a sexist and misogynist, you got me. To act like you are so different and above the other Gooners is just, it's silly. I'm sorry, but you—
Yeah, it's the same. Again, sex is sex, no matter how you consume it. No matter how you consume it. There is no moral high ground to this. There is no moral high ground to this. It's just one person likes reading about minotaurs or other animals. But it's not animals, it's a humanoid animal, so you can't call it, that's not illegal. And then there's the other group who likes watching it. There's the other group who likes listening to it. Mommy ASMR exists. That's why Mommy ASMR exists, because there's a section of people who like listening to it. Section of people who like ASMR. There's a section of people who like reading books about minotaurs. And then there's a section about and there's a lot of people who literally watch porn. There was nothing better about one over the other. It's literally the same concept.
You are no different than Joe Schmo jorking it to fat booty Latinas in Space 12. You're sitting there all high and mighty, one hand on the book, acting like you're so superior because you can perfectly envision a horse cock spinning 360 degrees in your mind. I'm not impressed. The scenes these men are reading, to many people, myself included, are insanely sexy. But purely in terms of the acts being described, they aren't all that lurid. And as many of the comments on these videos point out, there's much wilder stuff out there. For example, these men have clearly not yet discovered nodding, a popular term in romantasy right now that involves werewolves whose penises get so swollen after sex they have to stay inside their partners until the swelling subsides. Oh!
They didn't come up with that word. It actually, if they were smart enough to know that, that happens. That literally happens with little dogs. I can't understand why people think there's such a morally high ground about this. Like, this isn't a new term. They came up with the term for how werewolves' dicks get so you have to stay inside their partners while the swelling subsides. Like, are you kidding me? There's nothing new. It's not a new word at all.
Well, honey, that's not a popular trend in romantasy.
That's biology.
That's just a thing real dogs do. Oh, you just don't get it. You don't know what knotting is. What are these women reading, bro? What happened to that, like, stupid fucking corny Hallmark thing? Going home for Christmas to your hometown and falling in love with the cute farmer boy. What happened to that? We used to make fun of that. We truly did not know what we had until it was gone. Now women out here fantasizing about getting their asses clapped by demons and werewolves and goblins and ghouls. I remember when 50 Shades of Grey came out and people were like, oh my god, this is so crazy. Women are crazy. 50 Shades of Grey looks like missionary sex through a bedsheet for the sole purpose of procreation compared to the shit the average woman on TikTok is reading. At least Christian Grey was a human man and not a fucking dog. You fantasize about dating the quiet, shy, nerdy girl. You know, she's innocent, she's pure, she's not like those other girls, like, going out clubbing and hooking.
Then she wild. Pretty wild. Pretty wilding. It's honestly insane, but it's the truth. The girls who don't go out and party are usually the freakiest ones in the bunch. They just don't show it at all.
Up with random men, no, she's at home, curled up by the fire in a blanket, reading a book, except that book is about f***ing a half man, half bull. Let me let you in on a little secret. The quiet nerdy girl is way more of a freak than the average hoe. Are you kidding me? It's not even close. The average hoe might have a body count of like 15 or so, but the quiet nerdy girl is fantasizing about getting back shots from Cthulhu. That is at least 100 bodies. Now listen, there's nothing inherently wrong with fantasizing, okay? There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, no, there's nothing. There's nothing wrong about, again, there's nothing wrong about fantasizing about, minotaurs. It's not healthy, it's not a good thing to be thinking about that instead of actual guy. Instead of a human, a thing that exists. Like a thing you can actually be in a relationship with. But there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with reading a book about that. There's nothing wrong about writing fan fiction about fake people. Keyword, fake people. Not real life people. That's weird. That's weird. But fake people, do whatever. You can do whatever you want.
Wrong with roleplay, you know, fiction is fiction, right? You know, you're not actually going to bang your stepsister, right?
Yeah.
These women are not actually going to.
You're not doing that. Is that weird to think like that? Yes, it is very weird. It is very weird to think about that, but it's not actually happening.
Bang a cow. Or at least I hope not. We all know there is a difference between fantasy and reality. Well, what happens when they try to bring fantasy into reality? Well, you get Sinners and Stardust.
What the hell? What is going on? This seems like a dance party for people who this seems like a dance party with a bunch of men dressed up as mythical creatures.
What in the eyes wide shut is going on here? Sinners and Stardust was supposed to be a dark romance ball for romantasy authors and fans alike. So what's the big deal? Seems like a fun, sexy time, right? Maybe, if you're a woman.
Yeah, if you're a man, people are gonna try to touch you. If you are a woman, they don't care. But if you are a sexy man, if you are a hot man, they're gonna touch you. They're gonna swarm you. Because it's the closest thing they got to a minotaur.
Men, the night may have gone a little differently for you. Alright, y'all, it appears I have to make a post that I'm
Okay, let's read this. It appears I have to make a post on this. I'm frankly pretty goddamn upset I have to make. This post is about readers who don't understand consent and boundaries only. Oh no. A lot of you may know a good friend of mine, Animus, who is also this. He has attended a signing of mine in the past and is also obviously a musical artist. This past weekend he attended Sinners and Stardust and probably had one of the most heartbreaking experiences. Oh no. So listen, he's a man, right? But we think that means it's okay to put his hands over him, to put his hands in his waistband, down his pitch, touch his dick. low, put him back into a corner, touch over him, and can't all over him to the point you cannot literally tell how many hands are on him and who all is whose. Do you think it's okay to send in the panic attack because of this? Furthermore, do you think it's okay to interrogate him and says how he kidnapped women, despite how repeatedly saying how you wouldn't, this shit's fiction? Trash talk my books to him and try to get him to join in. Then attempt to follow him back. He had a sweat-resistant black paint airbrushed on his chest, so that's the only thing that would move all its body oils. Why did this man have ending night with almost all of it rubbed off and a handprint smeared across his chest? You see, when you read these types of books, people start, their brains start, if you constantly are aroused and are excited by these books, consensual or not, in the books, and like I'm saying, then the brain is going to start thinking. The brain is going to start thinking that it is now okay for this to happen in real life, for the sake of getting a mate, which it's not okay. That is the furthest thing from okay. That's what I'm saying. I humbly believe that maybe we shouldn't have maybe we shouldn't have read this. Maybe people shouldn't read this because this is not a good idea. Because people are going to start trying to do this in real life. Women are going to start trying to do this in real. It's already shown right here. Women are doing this in real life because they think it's okay to do. They lost the art of maybe just because someone's a man, he's not going to go kidnap a woman. Let's finish this. And if that wasn't bad enough, during the time of this mob, him and another author received a notification that an AirTag was tracking him, which showed an anonymous person on the way to the hotel. He knows how AirTags work, and the closer you get tracking notifications, and it's not the case. Also, you get the notification way later because he had no signal. Then comes when you got the signal again. There's literally signal, and I'm ill that someone may have planted a tracking device on him. Yeah, this is wild.
During the time of this mob, him and another author received notification that an AirTag was tracking him, which showed on his person all the way to his hotel room. They molested this guy until he passed out from anxiety.
Because of what? This is supposed to be a fun book. This is supposed to be I guess not a fun, but a dance party, necessarily, with hot guys as Wendigos and Minotaurs. But some of these people have taken it way too far.
And then they put a f***ing tracker on him in order to stalk him back to his hotel. This poor guy, dressed like a character in one of the romantasy books, at this romantasy convention, full of women. That is like throwing roast beef into a pit of wolves.
Yeah. I'm not even a victim blame here. This shouldn't have happened. No, this shouldn't have happened at all. To be completely honest, this shouldn't have happened at all. It doesn't matter if he was dressed up as some monster. That doesn't give anyone the right to go touch him in some way. This doesn't give anyone the right to touch him in any way he doesn't like it. In any way he didn't consent to. This is not fantasy This is not fantasy. This is illegal. It's a crime. People can't understand that.
Or in this case, throwing a wolf into a pit of roast beef. I remember years ago, there was this thing called cosplay is not consent. Basically, it was a campaign to bring attention to the fact that people at conventions would often come up to women dressed in sexy costumes and just grope and grab them without their consent. Yeah, apparently we have to
bring that back. But maybe not the women. Maybe it should be equal. Maybe it should be both. Not just women. Maybe men. Because you know what would happen? If it was a woman, they would all support the woman. The man there would be a police report on him. He would probably be in jail. But no, because this is a man. Everything's A-okay.
Bring that back, because these women did not get the memo. I've been a furry for over a decade and attended a lot of fur cons. Sure, sometimes weird shit happens, but honestly I can't believe the dark romance crowd is out here acting like this. Like, me and my buddies in our fursuits are more respecting of consent and bodily autonomy. Get your shit together, y'all. When
the furry community is telling you to be better, you gotta rethink your life choices. The furry community They have better dignity than that, than the monster community. Rethink your life choices, actually. No, to be completely honest, rethink your life choices. If you are worse, if the community you are part of is worse than is worse than the furry.
The furries are calling you out for being freaks. You need to reflect. Something has gone horribly wrong.
Yes.
Not only were the men at this book talk convention assaulted, but women were also assaulted by women. Multiple women, including a performer, reported being assaulted there as well. Even an author there said she was groped and dragged away from her friends and said no matter how many times she said no, quote,
You see what happens when people read these types of books, when people fantasize about these types of events, when the even possibility that this can happen, they immediately jump on it to try to get that, because they think it's so hot for that to happen. Which is not. It is not. It is clearly not.
My words did nothing. May I remind you, this is a book convention, okay? For books.
Yes.
Literal BDSM clubs are more respectful than this.
Yes.
There needs to be more studies on how this stuff affects women's brains, because clearly some are unable to tell the difference between fantasy and reality. Ivy Lipton, a doctoral candidate in human sexuality, actually wrote about this for Evie magazine. I don't know what a doctoral candidate in human sexuality is, but she's hot, so
I don't know. Is that that might be a lie. I don't know if that could be an actual lie. I don't know. Because I've never heard of a candidate for human sexuality. What the fuck? What the fuck? Clutch your pearls all you want, as long as you're not naked, your husband won't mind. I don't know. I don't care.
trust her. Your brain on orgasms isn't neutral.
Dopamine, yeah, you release dopamine because that's kind of how it's supposed to happen. Because, newsflash, if that didn't happen, there would be no incentive. If that didn't happen, no one would want to fuck. No one would want to fuck. If their brain didn't say it felt good to fuck. Newsflash. And when you think about this, you want to, your brain just becomes that. Your brain thinks your brain starts to think that now that's how you get the mate. That's how you get the mate. By doing these things to by letting other people doing this to you, not good, or by doing it to other people, also not good.
Dopamine release during climax is a powerful conditioning agent. What you repeatedly fantasize about becomes necessary for arousal. If your erotic imagination centers around abuse, monstrous violence, and submission to non-human entities, your brain is reprogramming itself to crave just that. It's not empowerment, it's neuroplasticity at its darkest. Scientists, psychologists, and the general public often state that men are visual and women are emotional.
Yeah, visualization and emotionalization. But the same thing can happen to men, too. Like, this isn't a female-only thing. Wait. This isn't a female-only thing. If men watch porn if men watch assault porn, they're going to start thinking that's okay. Then start thinking that's okay, fantasizing them about them doing that, which is that's really bad. Like, this is all really bad. So, yeah, it's really bad. Porn is already bad for the brain, but especially watching porn like this.
When it comes to sex, men can be turned on instantly by a sexual image despite their mood, and women need to be turned on emotionally to get in the mood. So it stands to reason that porn for men is visual and porn for women is in the mind. I'm not equating porn to smut novels, because one is a video of two people actually having real sex, and the other is, well, just words on paper. I am, however, talking about the effect on the consumer. We know watching porn is bad for the brain. That's been proven and only rejected by Gooners who don't want to give it up. But is reading smut bad? You might say, duh, that's the whole point. Okay, fair enough. So let me rephrase, is reading smut
harmful? Yes. And no. Because there can be times where, actually, no, smut. You have to define the word smut, for example. Because a book what has what has a paragraph or a chapter or whatever about characters having sex, that isn't really bad. That really isn't, like, that's not really, that's not like a bad thing. If it's two humans having sex, so be it. That's fine. So be it. That's fine. But yeah, maybe not. But minotaur sex? No, that's bad. That's pretty harmful. It's don't beat that. Cause yeah, that's the thing. What you also want to start craving it. You start craving what you fantasize about. And when it comes to specifically watching porn, you get desensitized to it. You since you continuously experience that level of dopamine, your body ends up getting used to it. So now you need extremes. You need the extremes to get entertained.
We know watching porn is bad for the brain. That's been proven and only rejected by Gooners who don't want to give it up. But is reading smut bad? You might say, duh, that's the whole point. Okay, fair enough. So let me rephrase. Is reading smut harmful? Should we shame people for things that are wrong, immoral, or harmful? In my line of work, I've been told many times that shame has no place in sex. But if I use my brain for 2 seconds, it's clear.
Yeah, I think people can be shamed. People should absolutely be shamed for weird things they do. Because, yeah, you shouldn't be. I don't think public shaming should really be a thing. Because, yeah, yeah, I wanted to fuck a dog. No. Being a pedo, no. You should be shamed for that. Absolutely.
Clear that line of thinking.
You should be stoned. For being a pedo. I wouldn't be opposed to a pedo being stoned to death. Maybe not fucking a dog though. I don't think that you should get stoned for that. You should go to prison. But
Is nonsense. Incest should be shamed, bestiality should be shamed, pedophilia should be shamed. I'm not equating
yeah, don't fuck your cousin.
monster smut with these things, but there are 50 shades of gray, so to speak, along the spectrum of harmful. Conditioning your brain and body to associate pleasure with monsters, slavery, or sexual
Not healthy.
violence is not healthy. Basically, they're cooked. Like, women are cooked. They are frying their brains with this stuff. It's a pipeline, right? It's like the infamous evil alt-right pipeline. You know, you start watching Shoe0nHead, owning the feminists in 2015, and then in 2025, you're hailing Hitler, right? You know, the alt-right pipeline. And this one's like, you're reading Morning Glory Milking Farm, and the next thing you know, you're Mrs. Hands, right? Just say no. Just say no to monster porn. But why is monster smut so popular with women in particular? Like, you rarely see the opposite, and when you do, it's just like a girl with cat ears and fangs, or like a 10-foot tall dommy mommy
Yes. Yes. Because I don't know. I just don't think a monster is really hot. I don't think men find monsters really hot. I think they want to be, since they're more visual creatures, they care about how the female looks. They would care. I don't think they care about. I think most human men would not like to watch a literal cow go down on them.
vampire with giant titties. Meanwhile, women are like, I want to the pollution monster from Fern Gully. So people on Reddit asked this very question. Let's see
Reddit.
the responses. Why do you guys like monster romances? Asking for a friend. Several reasons. One,
Human men are quite often terrible romance men. All partly fantasize about the monster, but take the fantasy a bit further. It's sort of human nature, man. Human beings, paranormal beings, creatures, we all, and unique, but so kinds of dicks. Again, this is not healthy. Now so you hate men, but you want a man to look like a cow. And so if it acts like the same man, then what's the point?
human men are quite often terrible. Romance books with human men are all sort of nurture, body form is sweet to her, kind, takes care of her, protects her.
So you basically say, oh yeah, so now real men can't be that. They have to be scary, they have to be mean, and they have to be sweet to only her. No. That sounds like a yandere. You like, I'm trying to think about it. That sounds like a yandere. to be completely honest, someone who obsesses over you, who is sweet to only you, and would do anything for you. That doesn't sound like a healthy person.
Works hard to be gentle, etc. Maximal escapism, minimal association to real-life assholes, the patriarchy.
The patriarchy, the oppression. So, a woman have to be milking minotaurs and being fucked by vampires is is anything like strong, independent women. News, maybe not. Don't if you want to think that's a good idea. If you want to think like that, okay, fine. But I don't think minotaur sex is a good thing. I don't think that's a good.
Misogyny and oppression of women, etc., etc. Because the monsters are less dangerous than dating actual.
It's the same thing with being a bear and a man. It's the same thing. Would you rather be in the forest with a bear or a man? I have my guess. I have the man. Because you know what? A man is probably not going to eat me. A minotaur is probably not going to hoof your skull in. Newsflash.
Men. As a fat woman of
As a fat woman of color. Oh my god. The modern contemporary woman's fantasies are hard to click because they're mostly thin white women who are just too realistic. You know, women's like, I don't know, thin of fat woman of color. And monster alien. That size doesn't matter. Just enjoy it. You know, the issue with that is it's not supposed to be you. That's what these people don't understand. These books are not supposed to be you. Like the Hunger Games, again. I don't want to be in District 9. I don't want to be in District 8. It doesn't matter, I don't want to be in District 8. It's a good book, but I don't want to be in District 8. That is the most terrible thing. I don't want to be in a Marvel movie. I'm gonna die. I don't want to be in a Marvel movie. I don't want to be in this movie. Because it would be terrible to be in this movie. That's what these people don't understand. These people don't want themselves to be in it, so it has to be the best thing. This has to be the best version of themselves and the best version of whatever they think of in the book.
Color. Modern, contemporary, and even fantasy romances are hard to click to because they are almost always about thin white women and just too realistic, and romance in real life is not always attainable for fat women / women of
Newsflash, there's a bunch of men who are of color who would like you. This is just projection at this point. I think the fat part, that's a you problem. You can fix that. If people don't like you because you're fat, maybe lose some weight. To be blunt, that's literally, if you want that to change and lose weight. And there are a bunch of people there are a bunch of men of color who like women of color. Like, this is literally just, I'm trying to explain why. Oh, this is a straw man argument.
color. In monster alien romance, though, my size doesn't matter, and it's easier to get into that headspace and enjoy it. I'm sick of the men on Earth and looking for some variety. Non-humans haven't betrayed and hurt me, so they feel like a safe.
These people are actually unhealthy. These people are unhealthy. These are unhealthy people. Unhealthy mental states. Because this isn't okay. This isn't a good thing to be thinking about. You shouldn't be thinking about being fucked by a bear. No! A human, an actual human, is way better than
Haven, if that makes sense. Plus the unusual dick. Monsters have big, fun-shaped cocks. I love some bizarre peen. Unique genitalia. I don't know what I was expecting, honestly. A lot of women in smut, especially monster smut, is about submission, domination, forced breeding, non-consensual consent. The women are like conquered and taken and overpowered by these monsters. And I think many of these women are reading these books containing monsters and not men because masculinity and dominance in men has been completely demonized and
yeah, now it's a bad thing. But it's the same, but it's now a minotaur doing it to you. Oh, now it's so hot. What a travesty.
modern society. But the truth is, many women still crave it. You see, the monsters in
Yeah. Newsflash on that too. No matter how much you try to get rid of that thought, the human mind will always want a human. The human mind will always think the opposite sex is cute, no matter what it is. That's why men will not watch porn of minotaur sex, because it doesn't look real. It doesn't look like this could actually happen to them. This doesn't look like a woman. People like women, not minotaurs. Like, it's news. The human brain was made for minotaurs. It was not made to watch minotaurs go out. It was made to watch humans. It's an evolutionary thing since the dawn of the humans. Things must look human and must seem human enough, and you will get it, and you like it.
in these stories have those like dominant masculine traits that women like so much,
Yes.
but they're not human men. They have all these traits women desire without
the actual being a human.
the problematic baggage human men bring, without being the men they hate or have been told to hate. It is the perfect guilt-free slop. But they don't just want a wild dominant man, they want to tame a wild dominant man. Similar to when a man sees an art hoe with a nose ring.
Yeah. It's the women equivalent, the monster equivalent of I can fix it. Because in order to be I can fix her, it's the monster equivalent to that. It's literally the equivalent of that. It's basically the same thing, just instead of it being a man, it's a centaur. It's a minotaur, it's a bear, it's a horse, it's a whatever, a guy with bat wings for anyone to care. They want to tame it.
You can save her from her daddy issues. You can do it. It definitely won't backfire and ruin your life. Yes. Go for it. Go talk to her. With many women, there's this desire for, like, danger and aggression, but also the desire to tame that danger and aggression. The desire to be that special woman who can melt his heart. You see, my dragon boyfriend could rip me to shreds and kill me instantly, but
he wouldn't do that. But he wouldn't do that because he's so nice to me. Oh, so would you care if he done that to someone else? Newsflash. Most of these women probably wouldn't care. Because they're delusional enough to think this wouldn't happen to me. They're delusional enough to think that, again, the bear and the man. The bear or the man. They're delusional to think a bear wouldn't eat them.
He won't, because he's nice and he loves me. But honestly, at the end of the day, just like the video I made about the anime girl in a wheelchair, where men were saying, this is the average male fantasy, and a bunch of women were like,
people got mad at that because, y'all think you're trying to take advantage of her and do blah, 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 blah. Nah, I think taking care of someone can be a fantasy. I think taking care of someone that you truly love, not taking advantage of them, literally just taking care of someone you love, is a fantasy. Living peacefully is a fantasy.
You wanna rape a disabled girl? When
No. That's what these people think.
in reality, it was just a distilled manifestation of the average male fantasy, which is to protect and provide for a sweet woman and save her. This is like basically the flip of that, right? This is just the distilled manifestation of the female fantasy. Men are seeing this and they're saying, what do you mean you want to milk a minotaur? When in reality, it's just to have a big, strong protector and provider swoop you up and save you. And like I said in that video, they're
these are fantasy to this point. They want something that's not a man to protect them. Like, it's unhealthy. It's so unhealthy.
basically both the same fantasy. This is a tale as old as time, the princess being saved from the dragon by a knight in shining armor, whether the dragon be a wheelchair or student loans, you know? But in this case, the woman is being f***ed by the dragon, and the knight sits in the corner and watches or something, I don't know. Maybe it's not that deep. There are some hungers better starved than fed. And maybe as women, for the sake of society, we have to starve our hunger for minotaur p***ness. Yeah, that's the moral of this video. So what do you guys think? What is your theory? Why is the monster romance genre so popular with women in particular? And who is your weirdest hear me out? Be honest. I don't want to hear no Lola Bunny, okay? You all know mine already.
You all thought Lola Bunny was hot? That fish was that deep voice. He couldn't, for me, even for me, that was, I would understand.
It's not that he's a fish, okay? He has an energy, okay? He has a vibe. You know what? Never mind. And I will see you guys again really soon.
Alright. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Female Gooners might be the actual death of society. They might be the death of society. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click that bell. I'm Asashi. Bye-bye.